Guys, when it comes to prepping and survival, it's very important to have a good supply of a good stockpile of food put back. A couple of days ago, I posted a video talking about the importance of having store-bought canned foods put back. Well, today I'm going to show you how to package and store basics like rice, beans, sugar, different things like that. I'm going to show you how I store those for long-term storage inside of a 5-gallon buckets. I'll be going through the whole process here today, from the vacuum sealing to actually sealing the buckets down. And so I'm going to start right now by vacuum sealing. I've made some bags already. You can see these bags are easy to make. I'll link this vacuum sealer down in the comments below. As you can see, this is the vacuum sealer I use right here. And your bags go in here. It's actually, you pull the bags out and get the length you want. When you want to make a bag, it's sort of a guesstimate how big that's your container, how big your food is, to how big of a bag you actually need for that food. You want to leave about 4 inches at the end of the bags to be able to seal that correctly. This thing here is simply a cutter, and you pull your bags out to the length you think you'll need, and then you just take this little black thing, go across here to cut this, and then your bag is cut, but both ends are open, and you've got to have one end closed to start out with. So you want to turn your sealer on, and then you want to press the seal and put the bag in, and let that seal the bag, the end of the bag. It takes about 30 seconds to seal the bag up on one end. You gotta be patient sometimes. You can see now the bag is sealed on one end, ready to put your food in. I have some more bags here already sealed. That's as simple as it is as far as the bags go. I have this bag here already ready to go to seal up with. This is Quaker instant oatmeal. You can actually seal just about anything for long-term storage in these bags using a vacuum sealer. It works well for most things. The other day I showed you all how to actually seal 22 ammo inside of one of these bags for longer term storage. But you want to put the curled side down and put this in, and it automatically senses it. And vacuum seal the bag. Seal it now. It vacuumed all the oxygen out, or all the air out, and now it's sealing the bag. You can see it's a really tight seal. What you want to do, I'll write this on this in a sec. You want to take and actually write on each bag what's in the bag when you vacuum seal it. You're better off to write on the bags what's going to go into the bags before you vacuum seal it, because it's harder to write on the bags usually once it's already vacuum sealed. Like if you have something like this rice that's already vacuum sealed, it makes it harder to write because it's all the rough edges and stuff inside the bag, so it makes it a little harder to write on that. There's different ways of storing food long term. This is the way I do it, and this is the way I've found is the best way to do it for me. Other people might do things differently. When I'm doing something like this, bag of sugar, I'll do this to keep the mess down. Put the bag over top and then turn it over and dump it out inside the vacuum seal bag. And I guess that's pretty right about the size of the bag needed for that sugar. That's a big bag of sugar. Sweet like me. Sweet as sugar. I hope I got enough bag here to seal this up. Makes the time go by faster if you give it a little dance to it when it's vacuum sealing. You can see it's a big bag of vacuum sealed white sugar. We'll do this bag of pinto beans, and then I'll go ahead and do the rest of the stuff, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how I put this inside the 5-gallon buckets. And I will use, you can see I use the vacuum sealer to vacuum seal everything, just about everything anyways, everything I can, and seal those with the vacuum sealer. And I use a 5-gallon bucket with the Mylar bag. I'll link to all the stuff in the description below. You can go to Amazon and get these if you want. And then inside the Mylar bag, I'll put the vacuum sealed food in the Mylar bag, and then I will take the oxygen absorbers and put an oxygen absorber inside the bag. Then I will seal the top of this bag up and then push it all down inside, close it up, and then put the lid on and close it up. So I'll take several different steps for my food storage. Another tip is if you don't use all these oxygen absorbers at one time, like you have a couple of buckets to put the food in for long-term storage like I do here right now, you don't use all these oxygen absorbers at one time, you want to take these and put these oxygen absorbers back in another bag and actually vacuum seal the oxygen absorbers with the vacuum sealer so you can use them again later, or use what's left later. That way nothing goes to waste. If you don't want to leave oxygen absorbers out in the open because they will lose their effectiveness or usefulness. Again, I think it's best to set your food up and put the bag over top, then just turn it over and dump everything into the bag. It's cleaner and faster that way, I've found. And again, you want to find the side that's kind of curled down, which is this side. It works better that way, and the silicone does that way. Get it ready, and just put it in. I try to make these videos a little funny for you guys, that way it's not all boring stuff, because sometimes prepping for the end of the world, see just the fan, food stores and things like that can be kind of boring, so I try to make it as interesting as I possibly can, and I try to put a little comedy into my videos from time to time. A lot of the prepper channels are just completely straight, serious, 100% serious, and no comedy at all, and it's a good thing, I think, to have a good life every now and then. That's why sometimes I'll dance in front of the camera and say stupid stuff and stuff like that, just to make you all more entertained. As you can see, sealed tight. Well guys, I'm gonna get all the rest of this food sealed up with the vacuum sealer, and then I'll come back and show you how I put these inside the Mylar bag, seal the bags up and the 5-gallon buckets up for long-term storage. Well guys, I have all the food vacuum sealed and ready to go inside of the bucket. You can have pinto beans, and I have sugar and rice and oats and things like that. But now we're going to try to put this food inside the buckets. Sometimes that can be kind of aggravating, because one thing about vacuum sealing is that it makes the food more rigid, meaning that you can't put it in the bucket and let it form to the shape that needs to be formed inside the bucket, because when you vacuum seal it, it's already formed into a shape like this, like a brick, and you can't move it around to get it in smaller spaces. You can actually put less food inside the buckets if it's been vacuum sealed. A lot of people will just use the Mylar bags inside a 5-gallon bucket, and they put the oxygen absorber inside of the bag and seal the Mylar bag up with the food in there without actually using the vacuum sealer. And you can do that, and it will last a long time that way. Perhaps it'll last just as long doing it that way as it will doing it this way with the vacuum sealer. But I like vacuum sealing it first, and then put it in the bucket, with the Mylar bags, and then put an oxygen absorber in and sealing the bucket up. But you can actually get more inside of a bucket if you don't vacuum seal. Because like I said, sometimes it's going to be a puzzle to get as much in the buckets as possible, especially after vacuum sealing, because of the way it's made after you vacuum seal, because it's rigid. So it can be a pain in that butt to get it in there correctly. Still have room to seal your food up. You don't have room to seal your Mylar bag. You know, always check like so to see. Once you get it down, you think you got it full enough, kind of push your bag down and make sure you have enough room for the lid to seal. It's a good idea to actually test that sometimes to see, make sure there's not too much in there for the lid to seal. So I'll take this out, put this inside the other bag, push it down, make sure it's sealed correctly and then shut correctly. So there, it's shut correctly. It's just kind of a guessing game, guys, to sort of see what fits and what you can get in the buckets. I think we'll need another bucket actually besides these 2 buckets to get all this food in. So I'll need another bucket, but we'll get another bucket also and seal this up. So let's try this other thing over here first. I think I'll put all the beans in this bucket and then put the rice inside another bucket. I'll have another bucket ready here in a sec. Beans, beans. Don't just say about beans, guys. Beans, good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you, well, you know the rest of the story. Let's see. Got enough room to shut this lid up after the bags are sealed. You don't want to overseal, overfill them because you can't get the lid on. So you want to give it a good test drive first to see if the lids are closed down tightly first. Both of those will close down now and seal. So I have some food left over. You can see I have a big bag of sugar, some pinto beans, and some rice left over, not to put in another bucket. Once I get the buckets filled full of food and make sure everything will close up and seal correctly with the lids and things, then I will put a oxygen absorber in each bucket. These are larger oxygen absorbers, so it just takes one per bucket. Put that inside the Mylar bag and toss that in. And then we'll take something like this to seal the bag over. You can do this with a straightening iron or regular clothing iron like I'm going to do here in a second. Hopefully. So I say these bags, it's what Dr. Bates to work with sometimes on this stuff here because it's kind of rigid. I don't want to cooperate sometimes. But you put your board, if you want something flat, it can be a board or anything. I use a little 2x4, cut off piece of 2x4, and you just put this under on top of your bucket, put your bag on top of this, your Mylar bag, flatten it down. With this all set, ready to go, you get your clothing iron or a hair straightener works even better. I don't have no hair straightener because you can see I don't have no hair. But anyway, put this on top of your bag and seal this down. It's pretty simple to seal down. You just go over a few times, it'll seal this thing shut completely. Just be careful and don't get burnt. I'm going to go over it several times to make sure that the bag is sufficiently sealed. Like so. definitely sealed correctly. And we'll put everything inside your bag all the way out here right now. And we'll seal this one up, and then we'll put the lids on. Again, before it works fine, you're on a flat surface, you're going to press this down to seal these Mylar bags with your arm, your clothing arm. And there will be several times to make sure that they're sealed correctly. You don't want to do all this work and your bags not be sealed correctly. All you have to do is hold your bag back inside. Both bags hold it inside. Your bucket, everything is in there, and you get your lid on correctly. You just screw your lid on. You don't have to use your seal lids, but I think these are some of the best things. These are some of the best, I think, because it's easy to get your food out, check, reseal. You tighten these down good and tight, like so. Cut a bag about the right size to reseal these optical absorbers inside the bag. So you can use these again. You don't want to just leave optical absorbers outside the bag like that, because they'll go bad and not be usable if you do that. The bottom of the bag sealed. We'll put the unused optical absorbers into the Mylar bag, and we'll reseal those, vacuum seal those. Well guys, that's how I store my food in 5-gallon buckets for long-term storage. If you have any thoughts, suggestions, or anything like that, be sure to leave it in the comments below. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and also be sure to check the description box below and the first pinned comment for a link where you can download my free Backyard Homesteading on 5 acres or less ebook. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. I'm Creekmore. I'll see you in the next video.